Hey Internet, how you doing? This is Jacob Clifford and welcome to the second season of EconMovies. With sales over $12 billion, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is the highest grossing film franchise of all time. Instead of talking about how these guys and girls are a cash cow for Disney, let's analyze the economics in the MCU, and let's start with Captain America, the First Avenger. You've seen the movie. Steve Rodgers is a weak but persistent New Yorker that wants to help the American war effort in World War II.
I don't like bullies. I don't care where they're from.
After training hard and showing his ingenuity and proving himself worthy, he's given a secret serum that makes him a superhero, a ridiculously buff super soldier. Because of that secret serum, Steve Rodgers went from getting beat up in alleys to outrunning cars and taking on hundreds of bad guys. From an economic perspective, that serum drastically improved his productive capacity. He is just way more productive than he was before. Obviously, Cap's not real, but this idea of a massive change in American production in World War II is real. Now, the US was a major economic world player since the late 1800s, but it wasn't until World War II that it became a global superpower, a ridiculously buff economic super soldier. The movie suggests that Americans and the Allies won the war because they had better soldiers.
Wars are fought with weapons, but they are won by men. We are going to win this war because we have the best men.
But German and Japanese soldiers were equal to, and some say even superior to, American ones. So why did the US and the Allies win the war? Well, when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, they awoke a sleeping giant. I mean, the United States significantly outproduced every other major combatant in the war. And as one industrialist put it, the US smothered the enemy in an avalanche of production.
These workers in these great plants are the miracle men and women of production.
And after the war, Americans continued to see growth as they turned their production efforts away from guns and towards butter.
Do not understand.
I do. I understood that reference.
But of course, there's still a bunch of poor countries, but there's an entire field of economics dedicated to creating policies to improve underdeveloped economies. Basically, they're trying to find the secret serum that'll spur growth and reduce poverty. The field is called developmental economics. But economies, they don't get buff all at once, and there's almost always growing pains. For example, India recently conducted an incredible experiment designed to modernize their economy. In late 2016, the Prime Minister of India unexpectedly outlawed 85% of the country's cash currency, specifically the 500 and 1,000 rupee banknote. This is called demonetization. It's like if the US government came out and said, listen, in 8 weeks, $5 bills and $20 bills are no longer valid. You can't use them, you gotta turn them in. So is it the act of a deranged madman or a brilliant scientist? Well, one thing is for sure, it was extremely painful. I mean, people that were accustomed to the cash-based economy had to wait in line for hours to open up bank accounts and deposit the soon-to-be worthless currency. Now, if you didn't turn it in time, then you were out of luck. And if you mysteriously had more money than normal, then you had to explain why. So all these regular people suffered, but so did counterfeiters, terrorist organizations, and illegal businesses that didn't pay their taxes. And that was the point. The Prime Minister claimed that demonetization and removing all this, what he called black money, would limit corruption, increase tax revenue, and modernize the Indian economy. So did it work? Well, we don't know yet. Remember, these economic experiments take time, and there's no guarantee that they're going to be successful. In fact, sometimes these developmental experiments go horribly wrong, and the best and worst example is China's Great Leap Forward. In 1958, the communist leaders in China wanted to convert their agrarian economy into an industrialized economy, basically moving people out of the farms and into the factories. And the result was the worst famine in history. Upwards of 40 million people died of starvation. That's the entire population of California, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, all those people, 40 million people dead because of a failed economic experiment. Now that's depressing, so let's go back and talk about the serum and the ingredients to developing a healthy and strong economy. Now this is a list of countries listed by GDP per capita. It shows the richest countries in the world. When you look at the list, you can see they have some characteristics in common. Stronger economies tend to have open trade with other countries, and they uphold human rights, and they usually value markets and democracy. They also tend to have less corruption and politicians that aren't above the law, and institutions that promote property rights, the rule of law, and liberty and justice for all. So small-scale experiments can help the world's poor, but most developmental economists believe the big gains can be made by improving the institutions of a country, by making it stable so businesses and the economy can flourish. And believe it or not, that's a strength for the US. Just look at the last presidential election. The country was extremely polarized and divided, and the person who won didn't even get the most votes. But there was no coup, right? No violent revolution. faith in our institutions, in democracy, and in checks and balances, and the economy stayed strong. So in the end, maybe Captain America is not just an overly patriotic representation of American ideas and culture. Maybe, just maybe, it represents all of us and how dedication, hard work, the right institutions, and some thoughtful experiments can help us grow, develop, and make the world a better place. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Hey, seriously, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to watch more econ movies, click right here. If you want to learn more about economics in real life, click right here. And of course, please subscribe. Also, if you're a teacher, take a look at my new YouTube channel. It's awesome. It's called Econ Teachers. I'm going to be posting simulations and activities and lessons. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.